Welcome back to the bead table, and today we're going to be going over tools. More specifically, if you are a beginner, what tools you will definitely need versus other tools that are just nice to have. I've got a variety here on my mat, and of course, at any time you have an additional question, feel free to drop it in the comments and I will be more than happy to hang out and answer those if I can. So let's start off with the two tools that I use for every project, and that is my bent nose pliers and my chain nose pliers. These two are going to do the most dirty work. So with your bent nose pliers, these are really nice to hold jump rings with when you're having to open them, and you use them in conjunction with your chain nose pliers. So you hold the jump ring in one and then you use your chain nose to open with the other. It just makes the job a lot easier. Now you can always get those little rings that come with your jump rings that help you open and close the jump ring. I can't use those on my fingers, so I'm going to be using these two tools, and every project I've ever done I can't do without these tools. So if my recommendation were to be what to buy first, I would say get a nice pair of bent nose pliers and chain nose pliers. Next, I have a pair of chain nose pliers that are a little bit more narrow. So I always call these the needle nose, but they are chain nose and they are narrow. These are definitely beneficial if you need to get into smaller jump rings or smaller pieces and you don't have a lot of room to move around with tools. That makes these pretty handy. Do you need them right away? No. Are they nice to have? Yes. So I would definitely put this on your Amazon wish list. Save them in your cart. I know I have at least 500 things in my cart that are saved for later. Make this one of them. These are round nose pliers, and I would say that these are necessary to have. These are going to help you create loops and like especially if you're creating your own eye pins or head pins with decorative features, if you are connecting a bunch of beads using wire, I would say that I use these every day because I do a lot of that. I like to wire wrap my beads to do fringe and stuff like that. So definitely I feel that these are necessary to have. And to give you an example, this right here is like that little loop up at the top that was done with these. So I feel like they're definitely necessary. Right off the bat, if you are not into wire wrapping just yet, you can wait. But again, I would put this on the save for later list. You definitely need a pair of sharp scissors if you're going to be doing beadwork with thread. You don't want to use your normal everyday kitchen scissors. You need something that's sharp and is going to give you a straight cut so that when you're threading your needle, you're not dealing with a whole bunch of frayed thread or, struggling to get it through the needle because it was a terrible cut, a blunt cut. So definitely get a pair of sharp scissors. There's so many out there. They're not very expensive. So just make sure that you get yourself a pair of those. I would say that those are a necessity if you're going to be working with thread. If you're not, then I wouldn't really worry about it right off the bat. These are wire straighteners. I use these on a semi-regular basis when I am working with wire. Now, the primary focus for those is if you have a bent wire, you can come in with your chain nose on one side, getting a good grip, and then you can straighten out any of the kinks or any of the kinks, bends, whatever the case may be. If you need to have a straighter wire, that's what those are actually for. What you can use them for also is if you are creating your own head pins and you need to pull your wire through. I've actually done this in a couple of my videos. But when you're creating your own head pins because you want that more artisan feel, something that's a little bit more rustic, you're going to be able to use these to pull the wire through and make that knot at the bottom of your wire. So they're nice to have, but if you're not going to, you can always use an eye pin or a head pin that's already created for you. So they're not a necessity. Next, I have a pair of needle nose pliers. Again, if you have your chain nose pliers with that needle nose feature, you don't need to really have both unless you are working with really super tiny jump rings. Not a necessity, but nice to have. And then you have your flush cutters and your wire cutters. So what is the difference? Flush cutters are going to get in close to your project and nip the wire so that it can't be seen anymore. If you're going to have to if you're cutting thinner wire, that's what these are for as well. And then you can see, hopefully, they cut them at a little bit of an angle so that if you're tucking that piece in, it gives you a flatter surface when it's, wrapped up, and when you tuck it in, it just kind of fits nicely over the wire so that you don't have like a big bump. But if you were trying to get in really close to your bead, that is what these are for. It's going to be really helpful. I feel like I use these quite a bit. But again, if you're not really working with wire, not necessary. Definitely nice to have. Just depends on the types of projects that you're doing. These bad boys are going to come in and cut your harder metals. So for instance, with copper, if you get a soft copper, you can use your flush cutters to cut this. No problem. Cuts like butter. But if you have a thicker, which I don't have an example, but like a 18 gauge wire or a 16 gauge wire, those are thicker, and that's where these come in handy. If you have to make a choice between which one to get first, I would go with the wire cutters, because then you're still able to cut the larger and the smaller wire. But if you're working with particularly thin gauged wires, 24, 22, these will work just fine. So it's really just, again, down to what type of jobs you're working on and what your needs are. This is a crimping tool, and it helps you with crimp tubes. And if you don't know what a crimp tube is, it's a little tiny tube that you're going to be putting over your jewelry wire when you're creating bracelets or necklaces. And you use this tube to secure your work so that it doesn't fall apart. Kind of the same premise as a stopper bead, only this is easier because you're just pushing down the little stopper, and it secures everything. I love using these, but these can be expensive depending on where you get them from. So if I order them from Amazon or a specialty shop, the prices vary. The only reason why you would need these and not just a pair of pliers to mash the tube is because if you mash it too hard, the tube will actually crack and it will lose its integrity. But again, if you're not really securing anything, you're not working with crimp tubes, or there's crimp beads as well, you don't need these right off the bat. It just depends what your preferences are. Some people, they get the hang of the crimp tubes right off the bat because they do take a little bit of finessing before you really get it right. I've destroyed quite a few crimp tubes, so I'm not that proficient with it, but I got a pair anyway because it came with the crimp tubes. So it's up to you. Don't need it, but if you want it, it's there. And then lastly, I just have a couple things that are optional. Definitely luxury if you want them, but you don't need them. I don't want to forget that you definitely want to get a bead mat. I know that's not really a tool, but if you're beginning with your beading, you don't want your beads rolling everywhere. There are so many beads that are in my carpet right now. from rolling off my desk, which happens anyway, even though I do have a bead mat, but this is going to keep them on a nice surface. It's made of like a felt. There's ones that are foam. I've seen some that look like almost like a Berber carpet. So it's up to you what you want your bead mat to be made of, but definitely I would get a bead mat. So luxury. A thread zapper, which again, if you're working with seed beads and thread and needles, this bad boy goes in and burns your thread ends so that you can mesh together to kind of seal the thread. It gets rid of any frays, and it's just a little handy tool. There's a little button on the side, and you go zzz, and the thread is done. Another really kind of handy tool is a looper. It automatically does the looping that your round nose pliers would do. There's different sizes. Definitely a luxury. You don't need one, but they're nice, and they come in different sizes. This one makes the smallest. And then lastly, I just have here a bead scoop. So when you're working with these little tiny beads and you're pouring them on your mat, it's nice to be able to take your finger and kind of scoop them instead of, pinching or trying to fold your mat in half to make them fall back into the container. So they're not very expensive at all. I would recommend getting it just because if you're going to be working with seed beads or smaller beads, it just helps you. Total luxury item, but I still feel like maybe you should just have one to save you some time. I hope that you found this to be useful. Again, if you have any questions about where I got any of my tools, most of them come from Amazon. They do have really nice sets that you can get so everything matches. I've got kind of like a hodgepodge of different colors and brands and whatever. But really, you're just going to get the essentials. Please, if I taught you anything today, get you some chain nose pliers and bent nose pliers because you are going to use those and they're so helpful. That's it for now. I hope you guys enjoyed this video and I will see you at the next one. Bye y'all.